Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweet the lead, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get in every way. Right from the two in the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweet the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every rocks, that's we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, R-A-Y-N-E, Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Friday. It's going to be a fast Friday edition because Comic-Con, Big Texas Comic-Con is upon us. We tested the stream earlier today at Big Texas. Looked really good. So we're planning to bring you some live shows tomorrow. We're going to be talking, Comic-Con stuff, basically. We're going to have some vendors join us at the show. We're going to have some of the people that are actually working the Comic-Con. Some of the staff there is going to join us. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. We're probably not going to be able to get any celebrities. We probably won't be able to get any celebrities at all. So bear with us if we don't get any celebrities. It's not an issue. Their time is pressed. So they've all got panels to go to. But hey, the best way to go check them out is go to Big Texas Comic-Con. It started today. It's going to go through Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be out there all day tomorrow. We're going to be running shows. We're going to be talking to all the fans out there. It's going to be great. It's going to be an awesome time. Big Texas Comic-Con. Sith Lord Elias is in here. Rudy. And then he says, Comic-Con weekend. Star Wars talk. We're going to save all that for the weekend, Sith. All the entertainment, Star Wars, everything. We're going to save it for the weekend. So, Mario Cavazos, I appreciate you joining us here tonight, man. Watching from Northside Independent School District, Gus Stadium, Friday night, Taft versus Warren. Give me an update on that Taft versus Warren game. I want an update from that Taft Warren game, Mario, when you get a chance. Let's bring on the guys. We're going to make it a fast edition tonight here on Sweep the League. Let's welcome back on a hiatus here. His PTO time is up, so he has to collect a paycheck, so he's dying for a paycheck. Coach Gio, man, what is up, man? There you go. Now we can hear you.
Is this the new look? I'm going to be in a circle now?
We are all in circles now, brother. We are all in circles. So I'm going to let you get the camera. See what happens. You take time off, and you're not accustomed to the new stuff.
I had to work overtime this week because of the hurricane in Florida. So I had to work extra than yesterday. Had late dinner, so
no worries.
Wasn't able to make it. But I'm here on a Friday night.
Yeah,
I'm here.
We're going to make it a quick show. Derek Gervin's joining us with us, Hall of Famer Derek Gervin. The entire crew here tonight. Derek, you doing all right, man? You ready for Comic-Con weekend, Derek?
Man, I'm ready for Comic-Con. I'm ready for Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah. Yeah. I told you watch out for those Dodgers. So yes, I'm ready.
Those damn Dodgers, man. I took the Padres in that series. I don't know if that was a good idea, man.
It's not over.
Oh, it's not over. It's far from over, but still, the seventh inning Dodgers are up 2-0 over the San Diego Padres. Mario Cavazos, you're upset the Cobra Kai was tonight. Yeah, the panel was tonight. Was a part of it. Our very own Jeff Garcia is doing a fantastic job with it. He's hosting almost every panel this weekend. So either way, man, come out, Mario. Come tell us hi. We're gonna be there. Swing by the Sweep the League booth. We're gonna be. It's kind of weird. I must just before we go into our picks here. We're gonna be set up as of right now outside of the Comic-Con, basically, where you exit the Comic-Con and there's a bunch of it's like the rest area, basically the chill area. So we're gonna be set up right there. As soon as you walk out, our little table is gonna be there. We're gonna be broadcasting from there. So you want to come check us out tomorrow? Definitely check us out. Sid will be there this weekend. We'll be glad to see you there, brother. Warren 3, Tap 13 at halftime. Jacob Eric's going to actually be with us tomorrow. Come on, Padres. He's going to be helping us out. Don't know jack about baseball, but let's go Yankees. All right, let's go Yankees, man. So we're going to make it a quick show, man, because I got to get to bed. I still got to do a whole lot tonight for the preparations. Derek's got to get to bed. He has probably been up since, you haven't been up early in a while, probably, Derek, right?
No, I get up, man. I've been getting a lot of phone calls early in the morning, so I'm up. And Rudy, before we go on, I got to say this. People talking about Comic-Con, which is great, and they talking about Warren and Taft. But tomorrow, man, is the biggest fight probably since Canelo Triple G #1. Arturo Beterbiev versus the guy that beat Canelo. You know who that guy is? Dimitri Bivol.
Bivol, yeah. Wow. Is it for a title? I don't even know if it's for a title.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This will show who's the best light heavyweight in the world.
I'll tell you what. Before we end the show, give us your preview of that. We'll do a little preview for you. Give us your take on who's going to win that. So we'll do that for sure. Mara's asking merchandise. I'll tell you what, we don't have shirts right now. I'm actually gonna show a brand new shirt that I made for Gio. It's gonna be on display tomorrow, so that'll be the new shirt that's gonna be released. You'll still be able to get these here. We're working with a distributor, but swing by. We got a bunch of stickers. The stickers are free, so don't worry about that, Mario. Grab a Sweep the League sticker, but again, the merchandise is coming. I promise you. We've already got a distributor, so we're just waiting on feedback. And for you business guys out there, you got to file a lot of paperwork. So I'm going through all that right now. But nonetheless, man, we're going to get into NCAA. Gio's forte, NCAA. So me and Derek, Gio, decided that since you've been on vacation, we decided to go with the circle.
It throws me in there.
So Derek, it was it's a 3-man vote. But because you were not in the meetings, Gio.
I can't even see myself. It's like a little.
Hey, Gio, I'm not in that, man, but okay.
I know Rudy likes to throw me under the bus, but I'm here.
Never. No, you look good in the circle. It looks good. You look slimmer in the circle. I look slimmer in the circle.
There's a show called The Circle on Netflix, Rudy. I'm not sure if you've seen it before, but
I don't know if I have. Yeah, I might have to check it out.
It's honestly a series, isn't it, Gio?
Yeah. It's like some series of people. Yeah. Having to, you're basically a catfish almost, kind of. In a way. Yeah. And
so
they have to figure out, or they have to essentially, it's based on who gets the most likes and votes. It's got like a reality TV kind of thing. But it's called The Circle, and you're essentially in this area where you're living for like probably a few weeks. And if people like you, you basically stay on. If they don't, they vote you off. So it's kind of like Survivor, but a little modernized.
Survivor with the social media, basically, is what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I think we're going to try that. I would probably be the first to go. Nobody likes me on social media. They all love Coach Gio. They all love Derek Irvin. They don't love Rudy Campos.
I don't know, but if they even respect us, then I'm sure Gio's good, just like I
am. Real quick before we go on to also, we're working on more guests. People have been loving the guests that we've had. Mario Ellie, Pete Babcock, Speedy Claxton, most recently a couple of nights ago. Yes, we are working on more guests, so please don't worry about that. We've got y'all covered. again, if we get more subscribers on YouTube, the more subscribers we get, the more guests we can get, the better the guests too. But we've got some pretty good ones in talks. We'll put it that way. So we won't release them until we know for sure. But nonetheless, let's get into some NCAA picks here. We're gonna go. Obviously, we're gonna go top 25 like we always do. And the biggest game of the weekend is definitely going to be the Red River rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma. We're going to get to that game in just a little bit.
I'm sorry. Did you say the biggest game
of the weekend? Of the weekend.
You sure that's the one? Not this other number 2 versus 3?
Well, I mean, what is that? Oregon and Ohio State?
Ohio State versus Oregon.
Okay.
That's a pretty big game, Rudy.
That's a massive game, but
in Texas, okay, Oklahoma.
In Texas, Oklahoma,
overall,
Texas.
He's a Texas lover, Derek. You know how it is with these Texas people.
But you up in the north, man. You know what the big game is.
Oh yeah,
Gio's big game is what? Indiana. Are they on a bye this week, Gio? Indiana.
We do. We got Nebraska, a big game against them after the bye week, so it's gonna be interesting. But yes,
well, it's the biggest game in college football. Even though 2 and 3 is playing, it's not a rivalry. The Red River rivalry is massive, no matter how you look at it.
It's massive, but I don't know if it's a big rivalry. Obviously, I don't live in Texas, so
you should.
But yeah, I think the Oregon and the Ohio State game might be a little bit more interesting. Though, obviously, would love if the Sooners knocked off Texas, but that's just for personal gain, Derek. Personal gain here. You know what I'm saying?
Mad at you.
Stop. Just because Georgia sucks, don't put it on all the Texas Longhorn people. All right, you gotta relax.
We took care of business last week against Auburn. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, Rudy. On a serious note, is it Ewers back?
Ewers is back. He's going to be starting.
That's where the problem comes in. That's what we're going to figure out. So it is a big game because now Sarkisian has a decision to make. Do you go to Ewers and bench Arch Manning? That's going to be interesting. I know he's going to bench Arch, but man, a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that.
Well, when we get to that game, I'm going to bring up a couple of points because I wanted to ask you guys about the Ewers Arch Manning thing, but we're going to cut it off first here. We've got Utah and Arizona State, and I think they play tonight, actually. So they got a game here in just a little bit. Utah, Arizona State, I really like Utah in this game still. Arizona State is a tough matchup. Both teams are 4-1, but it's the Utes. I'm going to take Utah. I think, they're going to do enough just to beat Arizona State. Gio, who do you got, Utah, Arizona State?
I got Utah. They didn't look particularly great. They lost last week, right, Rudy? I'm pretty sure they lost to Arizona.
Yeah, they did.
So it didn't look particularly great, but we all know how this happens. Teams beat on each other. You go, but this time Utah was at home. They were at home, Rudy, and they lost. So Arizona State's an interesting team, but give me Utah. Their quarterback's coming back. Cam's coming back this week, so I suspect they play a lot better. They have the better team. Hopefully they don't sleepwalk, but I got Utah win this game.
Derek, Utah, Arizona State.
Arizona State is the type team that can pull off an upset at any time. One of those teams that's hard to prepare for, but I told you at the beginning, I saw Utah going either undefeated or maybe losing one game. So they've got that one loss under their belt. I think that's a wake-up call, and I'm going to go with the Utes to win tonight and win in impressive enough fashion to get ready for the following week. Utah with the win.
Heading over to Winston-Salem, where the Wake Forest Fighting Tim Duncans are going up against the Clemson Tigers. And ever since Clemson got smacked at the beginning of the season, they've been on a roll. I do not see them losing to. Are we going to consider Wake Forest the Fighting Tim Duncans or the Fighting Randolph Childress? Or who are we going to consider them? But either way, I don't see Clemson losing at all this game. I'm taking Clemson.
Wake Forest is going to get murdered. Clemson by 40. I've seen enough of Wake Forest this year.
Yeah, don't even put Tim Duncan or Randolph Childress in that conversation. They're going to get smacked around, so you already heard my answer. They lose this game. Wake Forest gets brutalized, basically. Clemson is to play a lot better, and I'm going with Clemson.
Yeah, moving on. We've got Missouri and UMass and Amherst, Massachusetts. Another one. I'm taking Missouri. I don't give UMass a chance or at all. The only time this game's going to be close is when it's 0-0 before the game starts. So give me Missouri.
Rudy, show some respect to those people up there in Massachusetts, man.
I did. It's going to be tied at the beginning of the game. I said it.
Listen, ain't no way they win it. Mizzou's going to blow them out after what they went through last week against Texas A&M, which that game was actually particularly close early on. Missouri had some penalties. They had a touchdown called back that potentially could have changed the course of the game. But Mizzou, they need to come up this week, and I suspect they will against – I think they're the Minutemen. Yeah, the Minutemen of Massachusetts.
Yeah. This is a G-rated show, Gio. Don't start going into that kind of talk.
No, that's the name of their team, man.
I know.
Well, Missouri got beat like that was the 13th and the 14th man, so I was disappointed in that. I don't know if Johnny Manziel and a few other people walked in there, but I'm going with Missouri to rebound. And Rudy, we joke a lot, but these teams that we're talking about, like Missouri, they have to win in impressive fashion. You're talking about being in the final 12, and the way they played last week was a total disappointment. So I say they rebound, they respond in resounding fashion.
Yeah, remember last week, Gio, I said this is about the time of year Missouri and Iowa always seem to fall apart. Like they start off really hot, and then like last week we saw Iowa go down, Missouri go down. I mean, this is around that time where they kind of fall off a little bit.
Well, I mean, look, it's a long season. You get these opponents coming in, and we saw the other team go down last week too, which I wasn't here for that. But Vanderbilt,
yeah.
I got a question for Derek. Derek, why didn't your team offer that quarterback a deal?
Oh, Michigan? Who you talking? Michigan?
Yeah, they need a quarterback.
I told you I didn't believe in Michigan this year, and after losing J.J. McCarthy, we talked about it early. I just didn't believe in them, and I'm with you 100%. Believe me, I get disappointed every time I see the two losses they've suffered and how they suffer. So I'm with you 100%.
I'm surprised they didn't get that kid from Vanderbilt, Rudy, because they had the ball for 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran the ball 55 times. In Vanderbilt last week against Alabama, they just –
Oh, well. Hey, Gio, didn't we talk about Alabama early, though? I didn't believe in them. I know Georgia's still in there. Alabama's still in the running, but I'm not really surprised they got beat. I'm not on that train.
Their defense the last, 6 quarters has been absolutely horrendous. I mean, Georgia came back and the game actually took the lead, and then they go in and play against Vandy at Tennessee, a team that's been a doormat, and just, I mean, it was beautiful to watch. I would have loved if Georgia did that, but Alabama gets up for Georgia. They get up. They didn't get up for Vandy, and it's a perfect example. As I know I joke around about Vandy, but I always say you cannot sleep when you go to these places, man, because you start sleeping and next you know you're down 14-0, and that's what happened. They were down early.
Yeah, they got down early, and it's tough to climb out of a hole like that, man. I mean, what is it? It's like what they say about quicksand. The more you panic, the quicker you sink, and that's kind of what we see with some of these top teams going into a Vanderbilt.
Saban talked about it this morning about the attitude. It was a message he used to give his players about when they beat a good team or whatever, and then how you come back the next week. And he had a really good message this morning on the Pat McAfee show, and people that can pull it up, I hope they go back and listen to what he said, because it made a lot of sense from moving one game to the next.
He also said last week, he said, I'd rather be Georgia than be the coach at Alabama this week. And was that the truth? Because Georgia's coming off of a loss, right? Keeping that kind of momentum. Alabama, after a big-time win at home, and then to lose to Vandy, this might be really one of the most shocking number one upset. I mean, Appalachian State. I'm sorry, Derek, over Michigan.
No, you get no argument here. They was 6-0 and 59.
Yeah, but Vandy, what they did at home with a bunch of transfers, I think they're headed in the right direction.
They were 0-59 against teams in the top 5 until they smacked Alabama around.
Yeah, it was a great week, and that's why they play the games.
Nashville.
That's why they play the games, man. They play them because of that reason. We're gonna move on. South Carolina going to Alabama. Alabama coming out that loss against Vanderbilt, and again, they're going against a team that you never know what you're gonna get in South Carolina. The possibilities of Bama going back-to-back losses, I say, are slim, but not out of the water. I'm taking Bama, but I'm not putting money on Bama. Give me Bama for the win.
I think they take care of business. South Carolina struggled last week. Again, though, they did play Ole Miss, which the week before, ironically, Rudy, Ole Miss lost to who? Kentucky.
Yep.
So I think this is an Alabama get-right game to get that mind focus. But I hope they understand that you just can't show up again because South Carolina has a lot of speed. Their defense could be physical at times. So if you're Alabama, this is, to me, a get-right game. But you better not underestimate this team because we saw what South Carolina did almost a few weeks ago, almost upset LSU. Alabama, I think they got woken up, Rudy. They got woken up big time, and I suspect they will blow South Carolina at some point in this game.
I'll take Alabama. They, I don't know, they got humbled, but they kind of like remind me of the Cowboys right now. They got a brutal schedule the rest of the season. And I say they rebound tomorrow for sure. They have no choice but to rebound. But just like I'm picking the big D to beat the little D, which is the Dallas Cowboys, hey, same with Alabama. I say Alabama wins this game, and they got to get prepared for the rest of this season.
Cal heading into Pittsburgh. This game is actually one of the upset alert games of the weekend. Cal traveling to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 5-0. A surprising 5-0. I didn't think I'd have Pittsburgh at 5-0 at the beginning of this year. I can see this as being one of the upset games. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Cal to beat Pittsburgh this week. Their defense, it can be relentless, and I don't buy a whole lot into Pittsburgh this season. Like again, surprised they're 5-0. Give me Cal for the upset over Pittsburgh.
This is a tough game, Rudy. I mean, we saw what happened last week. The Bears blew a 25-point lead to Mr. Derek Gervin's Miami Hurricanes, which is the second week in a row, Derek. They're escaping.
Merry Christmas, Hurricanes.
Escaping. And Cal has been a team. We saw them play Auburn. They beat Auburn. Now, whatever is left of Auburn as they continue to lose. But this is a tough one for me. Give me Pitt. I think Cal might still feel some of those wounds from last week. I think Pitt comes in, and I think they win. Could be a chance of rain as well. Kind of a cloudy day in Pitt, so
that's why I'm taking Cal too. I mean, defense. I like their defense, but yeah, I mean, you're taking Pitt. Derek, Cal, Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna take the Panthers. I'm Pittsburgh. I say they go 6-0. It won't be easy, but once you learn how to win, man, some of these teams, if you win by 1 point, that's all that matters. And I think at the end of the day, Pitt is going to be the team that rises. And I take Pittsburgh to go 6-0.
One thing I do like about Cal, though, they lead the nation in interceptions. It's something I saw a few days ago. Lead the nation in interceptions. That's huge. So should be a good game no matter what happens.
Well, I'm telling you what. I mean, Dan Marino's not walking through that tunnel. So I mean, they're going to intercept the hell out of the Pittsburgh quarterback there. So that's why I'm taking Cal.
Tomorrow, really? Talking about interceptions, huh? Okay.
Well. Wait a minute. I got to get one interception comment in there somewhere. Penn State, number 4 against USC. Another one on upset alert right here.
Boy.
Penn State going all the way across the country to USC. USC started off really strong this year. They started off super strong. People were talking about them as being, you know what? We overlooked them. We struggled lately. But can USC pull off that upset? Am I going back-to-back upsets? You're damn right. I'm taking USC to end this 5-0 Penn State team and pulling off the upset of the weekend, USC over Penn State, Gio.
This is a tough one. I think Lincoln Riley needs a big win.
This
He's
is
playing
it.
against, and this could potentially be it. We've seen USC, Rudy, a team that I was a bit more high on than y'all on the panel. And we've seen they struggle, obviously, against Michigan. They lose. And then a Minnesota team, a team that, in my opinion, that I've watched a lot of Big Ten football, they're a pretty solid team, but they got physical. And to me right now, what the knock is, Derek, is be physical with USC because they're not going to answer back. So to me, this is a tough matchup. I'm going with USC, but if this becomes a physical kind of battle and the war of attrition, I won't be surprised if Penn State wins this game because Penn State wants to make it a physical game, Derek. Physical matchup this week.
I'm going with Penn State, just like the fight I mentioned to you. Beterbiev is the guy that's just a pit bull, and Bivol is the guy that likes to jab and move and all that and throw a lot of punches. I think USC is a team that's this year, there's not the team we're used to seeing. And I think Penn State is the physical team. I think they're going to be physical right from the beginning. I'm taking Penn State to go in there and win that game.
Well, Derek, I think it's going to take some time for these former Pac-12 teams to realize, hey, these teams get physical. They play tough defense, and you're going to earn every yard. And I think right now those UCLA's, Washington's been okay, but they're learning quickly, Derek, what it is to play in the Big Ten.
Lincoln Riley's an offensive guy. To me, he's really an offensive coordinator more so than a head coach. And I just think Penn State's going to be ready. The Nittany Lions go in there and they dominate.
I will say, though, they looked – and I know this was against Bowling Green, but a few weeks ago, Rudy, that matchup, Bowling Green played a close one against Penn State for the most part for most of that game. Penn State, as we talked about on this show, Derek, every now and then, Notre Dame, Penn State, they will do something when you probably expect it to happen, and this could be the week. But I'm going with USC. Just feel like their offense might be able to edge up, but that's a tough defense, and Tom Allen has been playing really well on the defensive side of football.
Yeah, and Derek, you're taking Penn State, right, on that one?
Yeah, I'm taking Penn State. I think it's going to be a really tough game, but at the end, I think Penn State wins in the fourth quarter, yes.
Yeah, we got Purdue, Illinois. I don't think anybody's taking Purdue. I think we're going to go clean sweep on this one because I know I'm taking Illinois on this one.
Purdue football, as you all know, I'm in Indiana, not too far from West Lafayette, and I see a lot of Purdue fans walking around, and I see the shame on their face, Derek. The shame of what this football team has become this season. They only beat, I think, or only win was against Indiana State, former home of Larry Bird. But no, give me Illinois, Rudy. I think this is a team that's played well all season. I don't suspect a letdown. Purdue's just headed in a really, really bad direction at this point.
Purdue is the Aints of the Midwest. Remind me of the Saints when they wore the bags over their heads. And I expect the same thing to happen tomorrow. So I'm definitely not. I won't even name the other team. I just say Purdue loses.
Drew Brees ain't walking through that door.
They need about 6 Drew Breeses.
They need a lot of talent. And look, it's in the era of NIL. Hey, you got to spend the money.
You got to spend it. It's a win. You got to spend it. That's for sure. Stanford, Notre Dame. Normally, this game is always a big game between the two teams, but I'm going to stick with Notre Dame over Stanford. Stanford, to me, is just kind of still rebuilding. Notre Dame at home in South Bend. I'm going to take Notre Dame for the win over Stanford.
Stanford does have a defense, but I just don't think they're going to be able to hold on. I don't love Notre Dame. Let's not really. They're like a 2-yard and a cloud of dust type of offense to me. They're not very explosive, if you ask me. Sure, you beat Purdue, but I mean, sure, a lot of teams have been beating Purdue pretty impressively. So give me Notre Dame by default. But I wouldn't be surprised if Stanford actually pulls the upset here.
I talked to a lady this morning that had on the Stanford shirt, but talking to her is not going to be enough because they can't put her on the field. So I say Stanford loses. They're going to need a Tiger Woods performance, but I don't see that happening. So I say the Cardinals go down.
I'll take it in. Now we go to one of the biggest games of the weekend, Texas and Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry. I've tried to say that a couple of times really fast, and you get tongue twisted quickly on that one. But number 1, Texas, number 18, Oklahoma. You know, you throw the records out when it comes to Texas and OU in this Red River rivalry. We've seen it many times. OU comes in as though, the team not favored. They end up beating Texas bad. Texas comes in strong. OU is one of the top teams in the country. Always vice versa. I think it's a close game, but I have Texas winning. And while you guys give your picks, I want to ask this. How short of a leash does Quinn Ewers have? That's my question on this game, because if he makes a mistake, okay. But if he makes another mistake, when does Sark say, okay, you know what? We were doing good with Arch. Do we pull Quinn? But give me Texas for the win.
I think it's a long leash. I think he's earned that right. We saw what he's done last season. And he got hurt and Archie played well. But I think at this point, this Quinn team, and it's going to be his team for the rest of the year, barring any injuries. Archie's good, but I don't know if Archie could beat Georgia or beat some of the other teams coming up. But anyway, back to this game. I really want to pick Oklahoma. I really do. But Oklahoma's offense is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Guys, they're ranked 120 something in offense. I mean, their defense is good, but what is it if you can't put up enough points? Give me Texas just simply because Oklahoma, I don't know if they're going to be able to score enough points.
Hey, Gio, what's that running back that the Oklahoma used to have that went on to play for the Cowboys? By the name Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Marco Murray.
He ain't walking through there.
He's not walking through that door. And Rudy, what you said about Ewers or Arch, I don't even think that's a conversation, because if Ewers is healthy, Ewers is the guy this year.
So there's no way if he struggles that
I don't even think if he struggles in this ball game, which I don't expect, I still don't think Sark is going to make a change. And I don't even know if he's able to make that change, because you still got to go look at the higher ups at Texas. I think Ewers is their guy. He's the guy that's been in the Heisman running. And I think Arch is going to have to wait his time. So for me, Ewers plays the game no matter what happens if he's healthy.
Fair enough. And that's why I asked the question, because this is a really huge game. This is a game where, I mean, if you come out and you're down, 21-7, Ewers has 2 picks or a fumble and a pick. I mean, you can't. And it's not so much that if he makes mistakes, but if they have a tough time moving the ball, getting downfield, the offense is just stagnant. I mean, you've got to do something, because I think this is one of those games where you can't afford to lose with a Georgia, coming down to Texas. So
you can't put Arch in a position to fail. And that's what they've been very careful with Arch. Some guys you bring along slowly. They played him because of the injuries, but they don't want to go backwards and bring him into a game, and then he doesn't do well as if you put him in. What if he fails? You're sending him backwards. You're sending the team backwards. So I don't think they want to put that pressure on the young man right now. I just think Ewers is their guy.
Fair enough. Arizona, BYU. Arizona probably has they have the opportunity to pull off an upset here. I think I'm going to stick with BYU on this game, but again, I'm not going to put the money on BYU. I think Arizona has an opportunity here, but being that it is in Provo, Utah, LaVell Edwards Stadium, I'm going to take BYU for this one.
I'm taking BYU. Don't particularly love the running game. They lost LJ Martin. I'm going to take BYU. They got a bit of a storybook thing going here, Rudy.
They do.
We really didn't even talk about BYU in the Big 12 preview show, but that's how much things change from week to week. BYU had that big win against Avery Johnson in the Kansas State, but give me BYU. But I like Fofita and some of the guys that got to Arizona. This should be a really good game.
Yeah.
Give me BYU because it's at home, but that can go either way.
This might be the toughest one for me to pick out of the games we talked about. Man, I just think Arizona, man, I'm not going to write them off. And I think they're going to come prepared for this game. But, man, the playing in Brigham Young, I think that's going to be really tough. It's going to be a nail biter, but I'm going to have to go just like I'm watching the Dodgers have finished it off. Like I said, Rudy, I'm going to take BYU.
I don't remember you saying that at all, Derek.
Yeah, I know you that.
Mississippi State at Georgia. I'm not even going to talk about this game. It's Georgia. It's Georgia by a lot. Give me the Bulldogs. As much as I don't like saying it, give me the Bulldogs.
Glory, glory, Georgia, Georgia. I'm going with the Dogs this week against Mississippi State.
Wait a minute. Which dogs? Which dogs?
It's the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay, just making sure.
Cowbells, whatever they got going over there in Mississippi State. Look, so this is an SEC game. We saw what Mississippi State kind of was keeping around with Texas, right? It was kind of a weird game. Texas had some turnovers. Give me Georgia. I think they get back on track. Something's off with the offense. I just feel like something's just. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator Mike Bobo, which I'm not a fan of. Is it the quarterback situation? Something's off on the offense. It just doesn't always seem there, but could be a good week to try to get things together as they go to Texas next week. But give me the Georgia Bulldogs to win big against Mississippi State.
They need to take a page out of the Jets playbook and fire their head coach because he's terrible if the offense can't move in Georgia. Jarek, sure. Georgia.
I think Mississippi State stays around in the first half, makes it a ball game. And then Georgia has to turn it on after halftime. I believe Georgia wins the game, but the first half is going to be interesting. But I'm taking the Bulldogs, the Georgia Bulldogs, in the second half to win that game. About 14, 17 points, maybe even a few more. But halftime, first half is going to be tough.
He's got him in the first half. All right, we'll take the cover in the first half then. I don't know what the first half cover is, but another rivalry game. You throw the records out the door. Florida and Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee in this one, but, I don't really buy a whole lot into Florida just yet still, but they are 3-2. Give me the Tennessee Volunteers.
I'm going with the upset.
There you go. I knew it was coming.
I'm taking whatever's left of the Florida Gators to beat the Tennessee Vols. I think Tennessee, look, last week against Arkansas, I told Rudy about Sam Pittman and the boys there. They kind of hang around, and that was a great atmosphere, I'm pretty sure, in Arkansas. Give me Florida Gators in an upset this week. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm picking Florida.
Oh, my God.
I just can't see Tennessee falling completely on their face after where they've started this season. I think the Gators have played better, but I'm going to take Tennessee to win that game. I know this game is basically for their season. If they don't win this game, their season ends up being a failure in my eyes. So I'm going to take the Vols to win that game.
You got another big SEC matchup, Ole Miss against LSU. This is going to be a really good game. I fully expect it to be one of the better games of the weekend. I'm taking Ole Miss in this game. And you know what? I really can't pinpoint why, other than the fact that I just think Jackson Dart is going to be playing a whole lot better this game. So give me Ole Miss over LSU.
This is the tough one. I will say Ole Miss got a really good rush defense, one of the better rush defenses across the country. Give me LSU. I think they can get it done. I think it's going to be a shootout, guys. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And I think LSU, the fact that they're at home, is this a night game, Rudy? I'm not even sure.
This is at 6:30.
Yeah, so yes, it's going to be pretty much a night game. Yeah. Give me LSU. Should be a good one.
Man, I like Ole Miss, and I know they fell flat on their face. Wow, I want to say they rebound, but some tell me LSU is going to be able to pull it off. I think it is going to be one of those 41-38 type games that we've seen before. I'm going to get a nod to LSU.
Man, I'm the only one taking Ole Miss on this one. Then we got the big one for you guys. Ohio State, number 2 against number 3 Oregon, going all the way to Eugene, Oregon. Is this where the Buckeyes fall? I say yes. I'm taking Oregon. Oregon's turned it up a notch in the last couple of weeks. We dogged Oregon at the beginning of the year because they just didn't look good against bad competition.
Whoa. Don't put me in there.
No, well, I'm gonna include you because you're part of the show. So I'm gonna include you.
Of course, me.
No. I mean, honestly, I did dog them because at the beginning of the season, to me, Oregon looked really bad. But I also called Ohio State a fraud because they weren't playing anybody. This is it right here. This is the game. I'm taking Oregon at home because the last time Ohio State went to the West Coast that far, I don't even know if I was born. So give me Oregon for this game. I'm taking Oregon.
I'm taking the Ohio State University. Listen, Ohio State, and the reason why I'm picking their defense has been suffocating all year. They haven't played anyone, but whoever they've played, they've taken care of business, and that defense should be able to slow down what they got going on in Oregon. Should be a good matchup. I know Ohio State's offense hasn't been great all year. They kind of have been sleepwalking, but I think this could be the game. Defense, give me Ohio State.
Oh, boy. I've been talking about Oregon all year, but, man, this is the game. I can't talk about them as positive. First of all, their offensive line has kind of been very suspect. Not kind of. They've been suspect. They played well lately. And then you're looking at Ohio State, is the second best team in the country as far as rushing the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I just don't think Oregon, their quarterback makes he's like more of a dink passer. He's not a guy that makes a lot of big plays down the field. And I think they're going to need that tomorrow. And with that pressure Ohio State's going to be applying, I have to go with the Buckeyes to win that game.
Well, y'all taking the Buckeyes. I'm taking the Ducks. Quack, quack. We will see who's going to take that game there. Iowa State, West Virginia. Iowa State, surprisingly, a 5-0 team, ranked number 11 in the country. I think that's a surprise for me. But I think they continue on. West Virginia, it's a very tough place to play in West Virginia, Mountaineer Field. But I think the Cyclones continue their winning ways. Give me Iowa State for the win over West Virginia.
Give me the Mountaineers in the upset this week. I'm taking the Mountaineers. I like what I saw last week. I forgot who they played. Was it Kansas? I think they blew out. No, wait, no, it wasn't Kansas. They played someone a few weeks ago that they weren't supposed to beat. Give me West Virginia upset this week.
That's a tough one for me, but I have to go towards Geo. I just think it's hard to win in West Virginia. That crowd, they have their own 12th man. And I'm going to take the Mountaineers with the upset over the Cyclones.
Taking the Mountaineers. Man, Rudy's been on a terrible streak lately. Y'all been
Well, not yet until the games are official. So we're just making our picks. You might be the one who's right, but
no,
I don't think so.
No, y'all are ganging up on me right now. That's fine. Kansas State against Colorado, going into Boulder, Colorado, Folsom Field. Avery Johnson, man, for Kansas State. I you know what? Just give me Kansas State. I'm getting tired of the fighting Deion Sanders. I'm taking Kansas State for the win.
I'm going with the fighting Deion Sanders of Boulder, Colorado, which I would like to visit one day. Well, I'm sure I will. Look, Deion, listen, your team's been playing well, man. And if they can win this game at home against Kansas State, we saw what happened to Kansas State when they were on the road at BYU just a few weeks ago. They fell apart, literally. Give me Colorado. I like what they've been doing on offense and their defense playing well. Their offense has been playing particularly better. Pass protecting, the running block better. Yep. They're doing a little bit of everything better, and they're at home with that crowd. Give me a little bit of Deion magic. Colorado goes 5-1, and I'm sure Rudy won't be happy about that.
I'll be pissed.
You hear me stuttering? I can't believe what I'm saying. But looking at that offensive line, the way Colorado's played lately, this is the team they expected to be from the beginning when Deion got there. And then you look at that offensive line, and then they got a running game. And the running game looked really impressive. So you put all the things together, they look like they're on an upward trend. I'm going to go with Colorado to knock off the Wildcats.
Take Colorado. We're gonna go to the last game. Now, if you guys take Hawaii, then we're gonna have issues here because I'm really thinking I'm in the twilight zone. I'm taking Boise State. My question is does Genty get 200 yards rushing in this game? I could see it happening. Give me Boise State.
What this kid has been doing, and also the way he runs the ball. I don't know if you ever noticed, Rudy, how he stands up on the line of scrimmage, but he's standing up like someone said Jason. He's just standing up. And man, he's a special kid right now. And the prop bets are crazy. The prop bet was like, what, minus something for 200 yards rushing? It's like, it's freaking ridiculous. This dude has been just crazy. Boise State could, I did talk about them. Rudy was trying to poo-poo them earlier in the year. But I was right about Boise State. But anyway, give me Boise State. I know they go to Hawaii. It's the weather. It's the beaches. But they're going to take care of business and run.
I have that young man second in the Heisman voting right now behind Travis Hunter. And I think with 15 carries, he's capable of 200 yards as he's already shown. So I'm taking Boise State for sure. And I hope that young man continues on this upward trend, man. He's running the ball. He's reminding me of guys like Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas. I mean, he's packing up the yards, and I think he continues to do that tomorrow. I think he has another breakout game. Give me Boise State.
His first play, Rudy even texted, was it 60-something yards, Rudy, on the first play? It's like,
yeah,
it's pretty remarkable. If they can get into the playoffs, it'd be very interesting to see what their running game can do against some of these Power 4 schools.
What's his average now? It was over 10 yards. Isn't it about almost 11 yards now a game? A carry? He's got to be up around 10.7, 10.8 yards a carry.
I mean,
I think it is. I don't know that. I don't know.
It seems like it, though. Every time he gets the ball, it seems like he's getting 10 yards.
He was like 10.4 before his last game. In the last game, he had 180-some yards, I believe, on not a whole lot of carries, 11, 12, whatever carries it was. So, yeah, he's approaching 11 yards a carry.
It's crazy. And I know, Gio, I told you that more than likely, you got to start thinking about Barry's records, man. 37 touchdowns in a year, 37 yards, I believe, rushing or something like that, 2,300 yards rushing. The kid's on pace, man. He's on pace for it. And I think it could happen. I think he could break Barry's records without a doubt.
No, he could certainly get 6 touchdowns this week, Derek, while playing Hawaii. I mean, he could certainly get that. And I'm not trying to disrespect the Rainbow Warriors, but I feel like if he gets 5, if he's averaging 5, he's definitely getting it. At least the touchdown record. I mean, he's averaged 5 a game.
He's averaging 10.7 yards a carry.
Jesus, he's averaging a first down every time he touches the ball. Crazy.
And he had a chance to transfer. He had a chance, but he chose not to. He started at Boise State, and he's becoming a legend in his own right. It would have been nice if Georgia had him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Georgia
sure why
can't get everybody.
Why the boosters didn't get him, Derek? What type of money didn't they? They probably forgot about him. I don't know.
How about Michigan? You're talking about Georgia. How about going to Michigan, man?
Yeah, Michigan. Why didn't you go to North Carolina?
You got like 10 running backs, and who all run the ball.
But Kirby Smart and those guys. I mean, come on, man. They've had their time. It's time to move on to someone else now. He should have been with the Maize and Blue.
Derek, your quarterback, man. Your quarterbacks are freaking dreadful, man.
Yeah, he's not. Not only is he not JJ McCarthy, he's not even Jay McCarthy.
But Derek, let me ask you, Derek. All these quarterbacks I see Curtis Rourke in Indiana, and I see Piva over there at Vanderbilt. Why didn't y'all get any quarterback?
You know why? Because when you look at, you got to do some addition by subtraction. When you lose Harbaugh, a lot of guys shied away at that time because you don't know what you're getting with a new coach. And you don't know what the style of play is going to be. There were too many ifs for me. It's kind of like the situation Devontae Adams would be in if he were to go to the Jets. There's too many ifs. And that's why I think we didn't get the quarterback. They kind of shied away. They wanted to play for Harbaugh. But when Harbaugh stepped away, that's when you lose players.
Yeah, because right now I'm watching this game, and Derek, your quarterback is just.
Michigan's not. I told you I didn't believe in them from the beginning of the year. I love the team.
They might as well just run the option, Derek.
Yeah. Well, hey, you honestly, hey, I can't. You don't hear me arguing with these.
You might as well just be Army or Navy. Which, by the way, those teams are just running.
We could use Deshaun Watson right now.
That's going far, like super far.
He's been terrible, and he's gonna get somebody fired
quickly.
If they can't trade him, Rudy, which by the way, who the heck's gonna want that contract? Someone's gonna get fired, and it's not gonna be Deshaun.
No, I told Derek yesterday. I said there's a way to trade Deshaun Watson. There really is, and I mean, the possibility of trading him is there if a team wants him. The only thing is you've got to attach a bunch of draft picks to it, like a lot of draft picks. A team will take him and his salary, but they're going to cut him pretty quick. So you got to understand they got to take a lot of draft picks. So you're going to have to give up maybe 3 firsts and maybe a second and a fourth somewhere.
What do you think about that, Gio? Does a team even want Deshaun at this point? Even if you pick him up to cut him, Rudy, does the team want to even bring that? Who wants to even entertain Deshaun?
Rudy, those draft picks, especially in the NFL, the NBA, whatever. But these draft picks, they're very important. Rudy, how much you said to give up what?
So I said yesterday, if you went to North Carolina and said, look, they have the cap, they have the draft cap, like not draft cap, but they have the cap space to take on Deshaun. They really do. So if you're Cleveland and you're desperate to get rid of him so you can get out of that contract, first off, $80 million. You're going to pay some of that if you're Cleveland. No team's going to take the full brunt of that. So you're going to pay maybe 20, 25 of that. So you trade him to Carolina, but you attach like this coming draft's first round pick, maybe a first round pick a couple of years later, another first a few years later, and then maybe a second and a fourth. You got to load that draft. You got to load that trade with draft capital because you're taking on that bad contract. You're going to eat that dead cap space. But you mean to tell me that if Carolina says no, that's practically rebuilding your entire squad at a quicker pace. So, I mean, if it's me, I look into it. I would say probably because I get all this draft capital, and it helps me in the long run.
They need to make sure, Derek, that they have massage parlors in Carolina if he goes. You got to make sure this guy.
You're cutting the guy.
Well, he's going to cut him.
You trade for him, but you cut him right away. You don't keep him.
My inkling is the Browns want to make it work. They want to show everybody they're going to make it work.
Because
and right now,
they're wrong.
That's
why.
I'm telling you right now, when I saw that Browns Raiders game, and don't even ask me why I was watching it, but it was absolutely terrible. The guy is lost. He can't run his offense. We've seen Baker Mayfield get to the playoffs in that offense. We saw Joe Flacco, which, by the way, Joe Flacco, I know I made jokes about him, but that guy is balling right now. We saw what he did last week with the Colts, just throwing balls up.
Yeah.
At this point, just put Jameis in for the Browns. You got Jameis there doing his kind of weird stuff he always does. Just put him out there on the field and see what he can do.
I bet you went over your team if you were to get rid of Deshaun right now and eat the money or whatever you got to do. You got to pay the guy. We know that. But if you're talking about winning over that locker room, I believe they would do that right now if you were to go from the guy who's he's not the guy we're used to seeing. I don't think he'll ever be the guy that we're used to seeing. Yeah. Go ahead to Jameis. At least Jameis has good interviews. I mean,
dude, I guarantee that defense is walking in knowing that the team
bring in the crab man.
Bringing the crab man. They should have never let Joe Flacco go, but they didn't want a quarterback controversy to happen, which they would have had, obviously, with him playing. But he's just been terrible.
Gio has right now even a healthy Anthony Richardson. Don't you continue to go with Flacco?
I vouch for Anthony a lot, but he's just not. He's not playing well. I know you've been on the bus. I thought he had some talent, and I still think he does. He just can't stay healthy.
Okay.
But Joe Flacco probably gives you the best chance to win.
Yeah.
Right? Who gives you the best chance to win?
That would be.
And right
Joe
now
Sweeney.
is Joe on that team, and I think you got to throw Jameis. Once upon a time, the man threw for 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
I'm telling you,
5,000 yards.
I'm telling you,
He
Derek.
also got eye surgery afterwards, which I don't
You
know if
start
that has to do with
Jameis
interception.
Winston, like Gio said. You start.
No, I
Jameis
agree. I
Winston,
just
man.
say, but before you even start him, just get rid of Deshaun. I'm not saying you have to trade him, try to trade him, or even cut him right now. While you're kind of contemplating what you do with him, you tell him to stay home. I'm serious. And even if it's with pay, you tell him to stay home, and you try to gather the troops. I'll say. And
Well,
if
the
they were
coach
to
is.
do that, that's the only option I see right now.
It's not the coach, though. The coach doesn't
No,
want
it's
to
not.
play
The
him.
coach is above
It's-
him. Yeah.
It's way above him saying you gotta play him to the point where guess what? He's not calling plays no more, Rudy. He gave it up to
He quit the last. Was it the last game?
yeah, he gave the offensive coordinator duties to Dorsey, which I believe called plays in Buffalo. But anyway, so at this point, he's like, hey, you know what? I can't do anything. Let the offensive coordinator call plays and let's see how well he does. He wants to show Cleveland that look, I'm trying with this guy. He's been an absolute bum. And as I've told Rudy in conversations, when they took away his massage parlors, the man's never been the same, Derek.
He had a mental breakdown. He couldn't handle it, man. Was it fourth down, Rudy?
Yeah, fourth down.
Yeah, he had a mental breakdown, man, and I don't see it getting any better. He's dealing with more issues than on the field, and I think all the stuff surrounding him is sadly, man. I don't want to joke about that. I think all the stuff that's been going on, I think it's catching up to him.
Yeah,
It
no,
really
it's been one of those things where every week it seems like there's someone else coming out. I said, dude, what?
Yeah, I feel sorry for him,
What's
man.
going on with this guy?
What is it now? 25 or 26? The 26th woman or 25th came out, and yeah, it's a sad situation, man.
It can't be as worse as what's gonna happen to P. Diddy.
Well, no, it's not that bad.
Ain't that bad. I'll tell you right now, it ain't that bad. Golly. I don't know if we're going that far back, man.
That's a different story for another podcast.
Yeah, very different podcast.
Just don't go by Brother Love.
Yeah,
that right now is not the right name to be used.
Oh no, definitely not, man. Hey man, we're almost done here. We got to go through our picks on the NFL. We got to get our NFL picks in right now. So let's cue up the music here. And let's go quickly on our NFL picks here. We got to get off here in just a minute so we can get some sleep because we've got massive Comic-Con tomorrow. All right, fellas, here we go. London, England, tomorrow. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Jaguars against the Bears. The Fighting Caleb Williams. I'm definitely taking the Bears in this one. I'm going to take the Bears. I have.
Oh, really?
I have Caleb Williams on my fantasy team because Patrick Mahomes and Sam Darnold decided to be on a bye weekend this week. So give me the Bears just because I hope Caleb can do what he did last week. I'm taking the Bears. Gio.
Give me the Chicago Bears. Bears.
Yeah,
Bears,
Caleb throws for 215 yards, 200 yards. The Bears win.
Moving on, Cardinals and Packers. Oh my, it is in Lambeau Field. Cardinals put up the upset last week after Gio said that they wouldn't, and I said that they would. They're not pulling up the upset this week. I take the Packers.
I've been wrong about the Cardinals. They've been playing a lot better. I like the Packers. They just beat my Rams for whatever's left of them. Give me Packers at home.
Kyler Murray looked like Usain Bolt last week. He looks like Fridge Perry this week. I'm gonna take the Packers. I think Jordan Love is overdue for a 300-yard game. I'm gonna take the Packers.
The Cleveland happy endings against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going Eagles in this one. Unless they start Jameis Winston, I would take the Browns, but because they're starting Deshaun Watson again, give me the Philadelphia Eagles in the city of brotherly love.
I'm taking the Eagles. I'm sorry about those Phillies, but for today, I'm taking the Eagles.
Wow. See, this is going to be a closer game than you guys think. Because they're in Philly, I'm going to give them the edge because I already told you guys I don't really believe in Jalen Hurts. I'm glad he got the bag, but it's going to be a tough one. But I'll give Philly, they pull it out in the fourth quarter. I just think the Browns will find a way to give it away, to blow the game.
Over in Gillette Stadium, all the way in Foxborough, Texans traveling up to the northeast side of town of the country. Texas and Patriots. Drake May getting the start this week.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
What took them so long? They've been absolutely terrible.
Well, so has every quarterback that's come out of UNC. So you got to understand. Give him a little bit of time to heal. Give him a little bit of time to cook there, brother. So, nonetheless, Drake May gets the start. He doesn't get the first win. Give me the Texans.
Such a waste of time. No disrespect to Jacoby Brissett, but just a waste of time to have him start and stick up the joint. You can have Drake May do the same thing, but actually get better. Give me the Texans this week.
If this were the summer and not October, I would probably give them a chance, Drake May, but I don't think he's going to do too well the first game. So I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud. I think look at the Texans. The Texans are making moves, man. They're getting better and better. I'll take the Texans.
Taking the Texans. Colts and Titans. One of the nappers of the weekend here. Honestly, I think they said Anthony Richardson is playing. So if he plays, I'm taking the Titans. But if he doesn't, I'll take the Colts. For argument's sake, give me the Colts. I don't know. Well, no. Give me the Titans. Titans at home because I don't believe in Anthony Richardson.
Get a load of this, Derek. He believes in Will Levis, though. Unbelievable. Give me Anthony Richardson. Give me the Colts. Will Levis is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Will is terrible. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I just think I watched Eddie George. Only because I watched
Eddie George.
I think Eddie George this morning. I think he's kind of motivated these guys. And I'm gonna give them a little Eddie George love. So I'm gonna pick the Titans.
Unbelievable, Derek.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call it an upset if that's possible.
That would be an upset. I would say that would be an upset. The Fighting Titans, Buccaneers, and Saints. You know what? This is the throwdown that we always wait for. Marshawn Lattimore against Mike Evans. Who gets thrown out? Do both of them get thrown out? One of them will probably be tossed by the end of the game. Spencer Rattler, my quarterback one on the season for the draft, gets his first start. And you know what? He gets his first win as quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Give me the Saints over the Buccaneers this week.
Rudy, you're only picking them because you want your pick to look good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
100%, yes.
Rudy, that offensive line, I saw what happened last week against the Chiefs, and they did not look good. Derek Carr was getting killed back there.
But Spencer can run.
Yeah, but Todd Bowles loves to blitz, and he's going to send the house. Are they going to have enough time? I don't love Tampa either, but give me the Bucs on the road with the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with what's his name? Faker. Baker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa, shots thrown there, Derek.
I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. I think I like Rattler a lot, though. I got to be honest, but I don't know if they're gonna give him the freedom to be himself. A lot of times when you bring in new quarterbacks like that, they just bring them in to manage the game instead of letting them be themselves. So for that reason, I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Taking Tampa Bay. All right, you got Commanders and Ravens.
Why do they do guys like this? Kind of like Bo Nix. Why don't they have faith in these guys and turn them loose? Kind of like we're watching the Commanders do.
I have no idea.
Well, Derek, I think
I would say a lot of it is because they don't trust them. I mean, 100%. That's why I feel.
Well, I think a lot goes behind it, Derek. Obviously, with the Saints, they got Carr, so Carr's going to be the guy for a while, or maybe for the next few years. But the Drake May situation, you're right. Just throw him out there. What?
Let him play.
Just let him play. Are you going to the playoffs this year, Patriots? No, you're not. So just let him play.
Playoffs? Don't talk
playoffs?
You kidding me?
Exactly.
Playoffs?
Jan Daniels has been phenomenal.
Playoffs?
That kid.
Don't talk about playoffs.
Yeah, I know. Playoffs.
Jim Mora in the house.
But Jayden Daniels is special, man. I mean, I saw him at LSU. I knew it, but that boy can throw.
I think Bo is pretty good if Sean Payton learns how to approach him and quit putting his hands on people and let the guy have a little confidence in the guy.
I mean, Bo Nix should be ready. He was in college for like 10 years.
Stop. You always bring
He
that up. You need to
was.
stop.
He's like 25 years old.
Stop with that. You need to
He
stop.
played
man.
against Georgia in the SEC championship game like 5 years ago. It's crazy.
You can't blame the guy. You know, you can't blame the guy. You know, don't blame the guy. He's in the league now, so we got to give him respect, man. Speaking of games, Commanders and Ravens over in Baltimore. Honestly, man, I can't go against the Commanders. Jayden Daniels is looking really, really good. Ravens, they can run the ball, but I want to say the Commanders continue to roll. They go to 5-1. Give me the Commanders.
This might be the best game of the day, in my opinion. This is a tough matchup. Jayden Daniels is a great deep ball thrower. The Ravens got to figure out a way to keep this guy in the pocket because once he gets loose, it's tough. The same for the Commanders. And this is a tough matchup, Derek. I'm going with the Ravens by 3 points.
What?
I'm going with the Ravens as well. I don't think Lamar's going to let the rookie outshine him. And then you got Derrick Henry, who's capable of going for 150 to 180 yards. I think they utilize him more so that they could keep the Commanders' offense off the field. And I'm going to go with the home crowd as well. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Chargers and Broncos now. Bo Nix getting wins. Bo Nix looking good. He's even got a victory over Sean Payton, arguing on the sideline, standing up to Sean Payton. At home, defense is tough for Denver. I'm looking at Denver going 4-2 after this week. Give me the Broncos.
Give me the Broncos, dude. Love their uniforms last week, by the way. That throwback.
Was it the throwback? It was,
yeah,
right?
I think it was the throwback last week. It looked really good, reminding me of those early teams in the 90s. But anyway, give me the Broncos this week. They played well. I know they beat the Raiders last week, but hey, they're playing well, and Bo Nix playing well too.
What's the Chargers quarterback's name?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, if you guys forgotten about the guy that a lot of people have been anointing to be a top 5 quarterback.
It's not his fault that his coach doesn't want to throw the ball. All he's doing is just running the ball these days.
It reminds you kind of Cincinnati Bengals last week, huh?
Something's
with the game
off,
on the
man.
line, they run the ball 3 times in a row. I'm going with the Chargers this game. I think Justin Herbert is going to come out. He's going to shine finally, and I think the Chargers are going to win that game.
Someone needs to tell Harbaugh this isn't college anymore. You can throw the ball. You don't have to run every single play.
It's not working his way right now, Rudy. I know he's adjusting to being back in the NFL, but we got to let Justin Herbert be Justin Herbert. And I think that tomorrow is the light is going to come on. And, yeah, I'm going to pick the Chargers to send the Broncos to 3-3.
Steelers and Raiders. Steelers coming off a loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Raiders coming off a loss to the Broncos. One team's got to lose. The possibility of a tie is there, but I think we see the Steelers win. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Las Vegas Raiders.
I really don't like none of these teams.
You still got to pick one.
I still have to pick a game.
You can say tie if you want.
Give me the Steelers. I don't even care about this game. This game is boring to me.
Where are they, Rudy?
They are in Vegas, sir.
Well, so all the Raiders have to do is score 18. So I'm going to take the Raiders, man. You know I don't believe in Justin Fields, and I think it's time for them to start hearing the cat calls, and this is what they're going to hear in the background. Russell.
Uh-oh.
I think it's time. So I say the Steelers go down again.
Russell Wilson getting the call out. Falcons, after the impressive win last week, going into Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina, to play the Panthers of Carolina. Oh my. Give me the Falcons to win this game. Kirk Cousins probably throws for like 720 yards now if he's not injured, but give me the Falcons to win this week.
Give me the Panthers. Go back to throw away. Throw 3 interceptions. Panthers. The Red Rocket gets it done.
You're gonna get sued, Rudy. Did you call them the Panthers?
The Panthers.
You're gonna get a call from Ohio State very soon.
Oh, why?
You call them the Panthers. Are you serious? I don't know if they could beat the Ohio State Buckeyes right now. I say the Panthers. They lose. I definitely have to say the Panthers go down.
I think it'd be a close game between Carolina and UTSA right now. If we're being honest, I still give UTSA the nod.
I won't comment on that till after.
No comment. Not till next week's over. Then you can comment on that. Get yourself in the hall first.
UTSA would get blown out against the Panthers.
Hey, Gio, you heard me. No comment till next week.
We gotta wait till next week. Then we can comment on that. Lions and Cowboys game of the week, guys. They're in Dallas. It's gonna be a Lions show. Cowboys giving you fake hope on their wins as they have all year. The Cowboys' toughest 7-game stretch starts this weekend. Whether they make the playoffs is going to tell during this 7-game stretch, but it doesn't start off good. Give me the Detroit Lions.
Give me the Lions. The Lions, remember what happened last season? The Lions are just a better football team. I didn't trust the Cowboys at the beginning of the year, and I still don't trust them, even though they beat whatever Steelers offense is left over there. Give me the Lions by 2 touchdowns.
Dak throws 2 picks, and the Lions rush for over 200 yards. I'm going with the Big D, which is Detroit, over the most overrated team in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys.
Bengals and Giants. Oh, I've been messing with my hands and ready to get for this game. Bengals 1-4, playoffs pretty much out of the picture. Giants are 2-3, and Gio, ever since I went in on Danny Dimes and I called him terrible compared to Kyler Murray, this guy has been balling. He's been looking like a quarterback, Gio. You got to give him some love. So let's continue the love and say Joe Burrow goes for 390 and 4 touchdowns, but that's not enough to beat the fighting Daniel Joneses of the New York Football Giants. Give me the Giants to beat the Bengals and send those Bengal cats home crying because they will miss the playoffs.
Daniel Jones is not going to have a job next year. Give me the Bengals. They're going to show up in New York. I don't trust the Giants, not one bit.
I have to go with the Bengals because they're playing for this season. The season's over if they lose, and they know it. And I just think they're a better team than the Giants. I'm going to go Joe Burrow gets the team back on track, and the Cincinnati Bengals go to 2-4.
Moving on, last game of the weekend, guys, and we call it a show. Bills and Jets. I said it last night, Gio. I'm going to say it again. This has the makings of a Jets win. Why? Robert Saleh's gone. That means this team is new looked, I guess. But then Derek put me in my place and said, wait a minute. A lot of these guys didn't want Saleh to be gone. They actually liked playing for Robert Saleh. So it got me thinking, are the Jets going to really win? Hell yeah, they're going to win. I'm still taking the Jets. I love the Jets. Jets, 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 Jets.
Aaron Rodgers should be ashamed of himself. Gets another coach fired for his antics and his terrible play.
Aaron got one demoted to, don't forget Nathaniel Hackett, his buddy.
Yeah, he gets demoted. Then surprisingly, the head coach gets fired. Aaron Rodgers, another diva. I hope the Bills blow them out. Give me the Bills.
I think Aaron is doing it to another team, and we know, man, if Aaron doesn't play well, if they go 8-8, it'll be a lot of talk, the media and everyone, but Aaron will go on back on his hiking excursions. He doesn't care and spend his money, do a couple more double check and all that kind of stuff.
Double check.
Yeah, he doesn't care if they win or lose, man, honestly. So I say the Jets lose, man. I really do.
He's taking the Bills. So those are our picks for the week, guys. It's going to be a fun-filled week of football, college, and NFL. We've got Big Texas Comic Con started today. We're going to be out there tomorrow. It's way past me and Derek's bedtime. I know it's way past Gio's bedtime, but we got to get up super early, unlike Gio, who gets to sleep in on the weekends because he's lucky.
I'll be up early.
You going to be in San Antonio? You going to join us?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gio. Go ahead.
I will not be in San Antonio. I'll be enjoying my 65-degree weather tomorrow morning.
But before we get off, Rudy, I just want to send a shout out, man, because, a lot of people were talking about the WNBA.
Yeah.
And if you look at that game last night, man, I mean, it was absolutely spectacular. I don't know if you saw it, Gio, but, man, the New York Liberty were leading by 18 points. And Minnesota Lynx came back. They ended up going into overtime. So the WNBA is alive and well. And I wanted to give a shout out to those ladies for playing the game the right way.
Are you taking a shot at Caitlin Clark there, Derek?
No, it had nothing to do with Caitlin. I forgot about Caitlin a couple of weeks ago. No, they're just good basketball. Even when she was playing, it was good basketball. But a lot of people said that when they tuned out when she wasn't playing. And if they tuned out, they missing a good show. That game last night was spectacular.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good game, and it's going to continue to be a good game. It's going to be a great series. I have no doubt about that. It's going to be a really good series. Minnesota, New York. I think Game 2 is on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So be sure to tune in for that. Also, just a reminder, we're going to be out there tomorrow, all day tomorrow. Comic-Con, Big Tex Comic-Con starts at 10 o'clock, goes all the way to 7. I think we're going to be there from like 10 to 6, so right around that time. We're going to be out there all day, all night with you guys. So be sure to stop by, visit. We've got a lot of Sweep the League stickers. We got about 80 or so of them. So we got a good amount of stickers for tomorrow. We're going to be doing some giveaways. Stop by the table, get our QR code, and be a subscriber to our YouTube page. If you're a subscriber, I'll be honest, we've got an autograph of an NBA legend that we're going to be giving away. And it's not me. I didn't sign it, but this is a true.
Hey, Rudy.
Yeah.
While Gio mentioned Caitlin before we say goodnight, I'm going to give Caitlin some love. Because do you see what Angel Reese is doing? With the booty shorts, man.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Man, look, I'm going to say this seriously before we go. I hope, I don't know who she has in her circle, but it's okay to try to get your fame. But when you start putting yourself out there like that, man, things don't always go the way you planned. And when you start talking about you have to date a guy that's at least 6'7", and he has to be in the NBA, people start perceiving you the wrong way. And we're living in a crazy society today, man. So I just hope she gets a little direction from the people in her circle. Fame is, sometimes you end up wanting to be famous, but you can try to accrue it the wrong way. And I hope someone's in her circle. The young lady's confused right now, man, and I'm going to wish her well, but some of the decisions she's making right now, man, it kind of makes me nervous.
Yeah, it does. It makes me nervous too. Hopefully it's just a little phase, Derek, that maybe she's going through. We're going to see. Nonetheless.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a phase. It looks like that's her.
What do you think it's going to affect her WNBA career?
2 years she's out the league. I don't even think she wants to play. But I don't think basketball is her main interest. It doesn't seem to be.
Good possibility.
Yeah, it's a good possibility. And look, she went to a city in Chicago that is it's fashion. It's a lot of stuff going on. And it's possible she may not completely care, but and we'll see.
Hopefully there's some growth. I mean, I know she's young. She's 23, but I still care about her well-being, man. And I just want to see her make better decisions. It's not always about the money. That's all I'm saying. You got to make smart decisions in this world.
Yeah, 100%. Well, nonetheless, like I said, we're going to be out there tomorrow. We got a legend, NBA legend. I'm not announcing who. The only way for you to find out who autograph you have a chance for winning by being a subscriber to Sweep the League. You got to stop by our booth to check it out and enter. And the way to enter is be a subscriber on our YouTube page. So I'll tell you this much. I'll let it go. I mean, he's the logo of the league, put it that way. So if you want a chance to win that autograph, you got to be a subscriber to our YouTube page. So nonetheless, stop by tomorrow. Our booth at Sweep the League. It's going to be outside of the convention center, just outside the exit doors in the chill area of the convention center. So you're going to see a lot of tables there. You'll see Sweep the League set up right there. We're going to be your guys on the outside, calling, we're talking about entertainment. We'll talk a little bit about sports, but tomorrow and the rest of the weekend's all about entertainment. So for Coach Gio, for Hall of Famer Derek Gervin, until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.
Everybody have a good night. Stay safe.
Are you a hockey fan looking for the latest on the Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and NHL news of the week? Barry and Carson Best bring it all to you on the Best Boys Center Ice podcast. They break down games, provide insider updates, and keep you up to speed every week. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and join their hockey family.
Welcome to the Lean Left, Lean Right podcast, where spirited debates and open discussions reign supreme. Join hosts Rudy and Shemaya as they dive headfirst into the hottest topics in politics and beyond. They're all about seeking common ground without losing their passion for their perspectives. If you're ready for real talk and honest opinions, subscribe now and join the conversation.
We build a legacy, yeah, they know the name. STL Music, it's a movement, not just a claim. Loyalty, respect, that's the code we honor. In the face of adversity, we stand stronger. We build a legacy, yeah, they know the name. STL Music, it's a movement, not just a claim. Loyalty, respect, that's the code we honor. In the face of adversity, we stand stronger.
2, 1.
Well, as you guys can tell, Derek Gervin doesn't miss anything. If you don't want to miss anything as well, go to YouTube. Search at Sweep the League TV. Be a subscriber today. We're giving away a bunch of prizes and stuff. Be a subscriber today so you don't miss, just like Derek never misses. Subscribe to Sweep the League.
Yeah. Number 30, Derek Gervin, do you feel the weight? Reppin' UTSA legacy that we create. Didn't rise alone, now it's bigger than me. The whole fam roll, run the blood, running deep. I wear that 30 for the squad, for the dreamers. Running uphill, but faith kept us believers. Gotta grind every minute, every play, it's a test. Chasing dreams, but success demands your very best. Dreams do come true, but they never come free. Every day the race do, gotta hustle to be the only thing that stop me. The man in the mirror, still repping number 30. UTSA, the vision clearer.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.